Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Saturday Night, Sarthia edition. We are excited to have the whole crew back here today. Lindsay rejoins us just on the eve of our most epic battle to have ever graced this specific game. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday night. Evening, late afternoon. It will be night soon. We had a couple things come out this week and some things coming up. I'll go ahead and run through that quickly, and then we'll get to the game. We had an impromptu stream last Wednesday, was it, that we played Ryan's one shot? Ryan ran a epic level 20 one shot for a couple of us, and it was ridiculous and amazing at the same time, and we had a lot of fun. That should be going up on you can catch that on our VOD, or it should be going up on YouTube soon if you're not a subscriber. So go and check that out. We have our second session of All Myths Are True last Thursday. Spanish Monster of the Week game involving a lot. I won't say too much because it just happened, and anybody who didn't catch it on the VOD, but it was spooky and dramatic as usual, and we're getting into some really sinister stuff. But yeah, you can check that out. We're going to be playing that every other Thursday. We play at 8 o'clock Eastern time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And as always, you can catch that on our YouTube channel as well. As far as this game is concerned, we will not have a game next Saturday. We're going to be out of town again, unfortunately. Svan and I will be, so there won't be any Saturday nights. There may be something else that might get thrown together. Check out our Twitter and Discord server for updates on that. On Monday, we will be continuing our sort of run of just whatever we feel like playing in the moment, what we're calling Motley Mondays. Morgan is going to be taking over the reins of this at this time, running a one-ish shot of a game. Is it of your own design, or is it something you pulled?
No, it's a module from from World and Told. It's like their first issue. The Thunderlock Bar Crawl is what we're going to be doing, and I think we could do it in one.
Cool. So we're going to be doing some bar crawling on Monday. It's going to be again at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And the sort of idea with Motley Mondays going forward is that we all made characters. We'll all be playing those characters, but we're going to switch off DMing, sort of round robin, DM hot seat, and trying out different things and playing different things. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And very casual, so come and join. And this Thursday will be the next episode of Match Pony. We should be back for another one of those. We've been starting earlier and earlier, just because we East Coasters like to do things earlier in the day. Is usually sometime around like 6 o'clock ish is when we've been starting. So come out and
we'll tweet.
Yeah, we'll tweet.
Sometime
I don't
Thursday after about 5 p.m.
Yeah, sometime after I get home from work and before I fall asleep.
We have a good hour-long window for that, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so come and watch that. I don't think I have any other announcements for right now. I think that's pretty much everything coming up.
Can I do one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just have an update on our YouTube. Then I guess I have two, since you forgot that I do other things.
Mm-hmm.
And a quick update on our YouTube channel. If you haven't been there recently, it's been a little behind on video uploading, but I am sort of getting it together. And especially since we're not having a Saturday nights this next week, I'm about to upload like a ton of stuff that's not on there onto it. All of my Nancy Drew streams are going to be all edited together into great videos of their own, so everybody can watch those, and the episodes of Saturday nights that are missing as well are going to be up there, so you'll have a lot of stuff to watch in this week in between our 2 Saturday nights games, our 2-week break. And then on Sunday on Encounter Roleplay, I'm going to be running session 2 of Apocalypse When. It's an Apocalypse World game with time travel, and it's very fun. Come watch.
Yeah, we're all going to be watching, so come out and join. First session was really fun.
Oh, at 5 o'clock Eastern
5
time
o'clock
tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. So let's go ahead and jump back in. Very quick recap, considering most of the session took place in the span of like 1 minute, in quote unquote real time. So the group, after befriending the hill giant Krog, set their sights on the Umbra Hawkers and their hideout, the Black Perch, to thwart the plans that this nefarious bandit gang had been concocting, whatever plots and schemes they had at the ready. You decided to, in one fell swoop, thwart all that in epic battle with a rather surprising ambush tactic. You dropped Krog into the midst of the keep, where he proceeded to tear apart the lesser bandits that were in there, and the rest of you providing support to Krog and throwing yourselves into the battle as well. In one fell swoop, dealt with most, if not all, of the Umbra Hawkers, having cleared out the keep, and as the leader Hargrave appeared and threw himself in the battle, attempting to push or to fend you all off, it became very clear that he did not have the capability to do so, attempted to flee, at which point you dealt the final blow through a series of magic and good old Krog smashing. And that's where we ended the session. All of the bandits seemingly having been dealt with at the fort. You let one of them flee to tell the story. I think you let him go. He ran off. You told him to change his ways, and you scared him straight. And he fled the Black Perch.
Someone has to tell the story.
Yeah, you freed the prisoners as well that they were keeping, as well as the conscripts that they'd been training to join their forces, and set your sights on looting. And that's where we're going to pick up here today in the aftermath of that battle. So you have the main keep ahead of you, and I should further emphasize that this place is dilapidated. It has not been well maintained by its current occupants. It has probably stood here for several hundred years, if not longer. The walls are cracked and broken, patchwork together with planks and boards to span large gaps where the stonework has fallen away. I think you guys had a brief moment where you stepped inside the main building of the keep to search for the last bandit. You would be able to tell that, or I think I might have mentioned it, but if I didn't, there's 2 stories to the keep, and the top part, the ceiling, the floor of the second story, the ceiling of the first story has collapsed inwards, or a large portion of it had, giving it a nice vaulted ceiling, but maybe a little bit bigger than you would typically like. There are also 3 towers you haven't explored yet. One of which Hargrave is the one that he came from, one of which was used as sort of like a rookery or a stables for the giant falcons that they were keeping, and a third one that hasn't had anything interesting happen around it yet. So yeah, that's where we pick up right now. Krog, as the common folk that have been captured, the victims of this, the Hawkers kind of scatter and flee to avoid the hill giant. Krog finds himself a nice, comfy pile of hay to plop down on with a heavy thud that shakes the ground of almost the entire keep. and picks up one of the falcons, the dead falcons off the ground, and like cracks the spine of it and begins to just like munch away on the inside of it. So what would you like to do?
Did we decide what we were gonna do with the conscripts? Were we gonna talk about that, or are we just letting them?
We hadn't talked yet.
Okay. I couldn't remember if we were just gonna like take them back to town with everyone else.
I mean, probably.
Okay.
Hmm. I'm gonna go explore one of the towers.
Okay, I'm gonna move it over to the Black Perch map so you guys can see it. If we see a issue with loading
Oh
it.
yeah, there's cows and goats. I forgot about them.
Oh yeah, you do see at the back of the
Oh no, I told
of
Gronk
the
he
keep.
could eat the cow.
Maybe
You
he's
did.
forgotten.
I think he's temporarily forgot, or he's saving it for dessert.
Oh no.
But he is currently resting his weary bones right now. Yeah, you can see at the back of the keep all of the livestock that have been taken by the hawkers from the townsfolk seem to be penned back there.
We should also return the rest of the livestock.
Yep. I think Chad is going to, after making sure that the all the innocents are out of their cages and safe, is going to start the work of gathering up the bandit bodies and cutting ears off, and tokens to prove that we did what we needed to.
They have like amulets.
Oh yeah, right. Yes. So, but
You can do whatever you want.
but no, Chad is going to be the one who goes around and like rifles through,
Starts doing that.
and like starts doing the cleanup in that regard.
Okay, so you're
I'll
looting
give
the
Chad
bodies.
the one that I already have then from the
Yeah.
guy that we
Okay.
So
Like, look for more of these.
So you loot the bodies. If you want to loot for any more than just the medallions, then make an investigation check for me.
I am so good at those. That's a 15. I almost said 16, but I have a -2.
I was afraid you were gonna say
Oh.
6.
So what was the total of it?
15.
15. Okay. So with 15, there are, let me make sure I've got the count right in this. I think 4. I think there are 21 bandit medallions that you claim, including the one you took from the still living bandit. You find most of the bandits don't really carry much. They have their basic weaponry, armor, things like that. I don't think anything that necessarily would interest you too much, depending on how much you want to scavenge, but just basic weaponry. We can get into that if you're trying to gather it and sell it, or whatever you guys want to do with their gear. But you have all of their gear.
I would organize it at least, but we can get into the details of what that entails.
Yeah. Well, for the sake of it, I'll just go ahead and I'll go and tell you what that would entail. So from, I'll check, they all carry the same weapon. Okay, so that'd be 21 scimitars.
You see their swords? Curved swords.
Probably twice the amount of daggers, so probably about 40 daggers between the group of them, in various conditions. 4 light crossbows. Hargrave had the, and I'll say between all of them, as far as coin they carried, not a lot of them seem to have a lot of coin on their person. You gather they probably spend it as quickly as they make it. But you find in copper, silver, all of that, about 20 gold pieces.
Okay.
Amongst them, just not a whole lot that they carry on the person. Hargrave has the nicest gear. He is currently wearing a breastplate. Seems in very good condition. Doesn't seem magical, but is a very nice breastplate. He also has a greatsword, which again seems like it's in pretty good condition, a lot of use, but it's very nice, ornate, great sword. And he doesn't have any money on his person, but you do find tucked underneath the breastplate that he is wearing a key.
All right, good to know. Let's see. I suppose I can look this up, but does the breastplate have any kind of bad guy insignia on it, or would it be something that Chad could maybe steal and wear for himself?
I think with given who this person was, I think there is a symbol of the Umber Hawkers that is currently beaten into the breastplate. A good enough blacksmith could probably remove that.
And also it's worse than what I currently have. So
okay, well, it's pretty valuable. It's in good condition. You gather you could probably sell it to a good blacksmith for a pretty penny.
Mm-hmm.
Breastplate worse than chainmail?
Yeah, breastplate is 14 plus dex to a max of 2. Chainmail is 16.
I have chainmail.
Yeah. Breastplate is medium armor though, so if you didn't want the stealth penalty.
I sort of like my armor class.
Okay. Anyway, so Hilda, you're walking over to some of the towers.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Okay, so this tower. Where did it go? I think kind of redescribing it. This central tower here is pretty fractures in a precarious state. Doesn't look like it is in great condition, and doesn't look like it was occupied by any of the Umber Hawkers themselves. There is a stool outside where it looks like a bandit might have been sitting and guarding this tower. There's just like a small stool and some, I don't know, probably some ash from a pipe or something nearby, giving you that impression. But as you kind of peek inside the open doors, you see there are dozens of barrels in the tower.
Curious. I'm going to look and see, is there any sort of insignia or anything on the barrels? Are they like...
Yes.
Anything on them?
There is an insignia on the barrel. Make me a history check.
History, all right.
Yeah. It's not a high DC.
Well... Let's see. What is my history? 10?
10's what you needed. You recognize this. I don't know how much traveling you've done outside the realm, but the insignia that is on the side of the barrels is that of Roran.
Oh, okay. And then, like, looking at the barrels, do they seem like they contain liquid or something else?
How are you inspecting them? Are you going to pop one open, or are you just going to kind of move one side to side?
Yeah, kind of like wiggle it a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe if there's like a cork on the top, maybe undo it. But
okay, you kind of jiggle it. They're very heavy, but you kind of push it a little bit. See anything? Yeah, you see if anything sloshes. It doesn't sound like there's anything sloshing around inside. No liquid. You want to try to uncork it?
I'm gonna wait a minute.
Okay.
But it's just barrels in here.
Yeah, just barrels.
About how many?
16.
Okay. Write that down. Okay, and then I would also like to have Panker, who is still an owl. I want to send them back to Glassnock with like a note.
Okay.
For McDwyer. So letting him know that everything's taken care of.
Okay.
At Blackbirch.
Yeah, you just take the time to scribble a small note, just letting him know the status of things, and roll it up and tuck it into, or I guess it's a familiar, so it's intelligent enough. It grasps the note in its claw, and takes off over the treetops to the north. Cool. The rest of you, what are you inspecting? What are you doing?
I'll take one of the other towers, I guess.
Okay. I'll go ahead and
I
just.
just thought something. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Before I do that, whatever livestock is left that has not been killed or eaten, I think I'm gonna try to surreptitiously, maybe when Krog is distracted eating a bird, try to take at least some of them back to where we left our cart and where we told all of the townspeople to wait for us.
Okay.
So we can take some of it back to the town.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you gather a couple of the conscripts and have them grab a goat each and try to load them out.
Grab a goat.
I'll say for the goats, Krog is pretty well distracted and maybe doesn't notice, and they're small enough and they move out enough. If you're going to try to move if you're going to try to move the cow or save the cow, it's going to take maybe a stealth check on your end or some sort of distraction.
We did promise Krog the food.
Yeah, no, I'll take the goats, and that'll be...
Okay.
If they really need help, I'll give them some money for the cow, because Krog sort of also deserves it. And then I'll go and kind of rifle through one of the towers.
Okay. One of the towers has a large tree growing out of it. There isn't really anything to go inside to look at. It's just where they were keeping the falcons. You can see large bird droppings across the ground. I'm letting you guys know, so you don't need to explore all three. The third tower, which is the one that has the balcony on it that you saw Hargrave come out of, has what looked like the door on the bottom is currently open. And as you peek your head inside, there are a couple of tables and chairs and things scattered about. Looks like there were some bandits kind of hanging out in here as well. And there is a staircase that spirals upwards.
Oh, well, I'm going to go up it.
Okay. When you reach the top of the staircase, there is a door there that's currently closed. You go to open the door and it is locked.
Distantly, you hear Chad saying, "I found a key."
Can I? I have a shovel. How big is the shovel that I have?
If it's a carrying shovel, it's probably about
It
2
weighs
feet.
5 pounds.
Yeah, it's probably one you attach to your backpack, so it's like 2 feet long, 3 feet long. It's like a hand shovel.
Okay, can I just try to kick the door?
With the
down?
shovel?
No, kick it down. I was thinking if it was gonna like a big.
Okay, make
shovel, I was gonna try to pry it open, but.
Make a strength check.
15.
Sure. Okay. It maybe takes a couple of kicks. Poof! The first one you feel some of the door splinter, and then poof! You get it again, and it kind of comes off one of its hinges. And with a third and final, poof, you kick it the last time, and the door clatters on the stone floor.
Still got it.
And looking inside is what you gather Hargrave's bedchambers. There's like a 4-poster bed, a lot of silks and fancy things kind of scattered around the room. Some like decorative like talismans and incense and like silk and things like that hanging on the walls. That you gather he probably stole during his career as a bandit, building himself up a little bit of a hoard.
Is any of it like religious iconography, or it doesn't look like he like had a shrine in here? He just like stole a bunch of shit. Yeah,
it doesn't look like he has a shrine. Just a bunch of stolen shit.
Great, I'm gonna steal it back.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Great. 24.
Yeah, that's enough. You go around the room and are looking for bits and pieces and all sorts of stuff. I think you notice one thing, and you gather all the fancy stuff and you stick it in a bag and you're piling that by the door. In one corner of the room, though, there is a desk that has a chair kind of slightly pulled out from it. And what you notice is that the ceiling above the desk, just a little bit off from it, there are like some scuff marks across the floor, indicating this chair has probably been pulled underneath this portion of the ceiling a few times. And you see the ceiling itself, there's a slight seam indicating there's like a hidden hatch in the ceiling.
Like something has been moved back and forth here repeatedly.
Yeah.
Can I reach it, or is it, how tall is the ceiling?
If you stand on the chair, you could reach it.
Okay, because I'm tall as hell. But...
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Pull out the chair. Is it? Can this chair hold me?
Yeah. No, it could hold you.
I'm trying to remember.
It's a pretty like
how big I actually
oak
am.
chair. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll pull the chair out and step on it and kind of like.
Okay. You stand up on the chair and push. It gives a little bit, but it catches, and you can see a small little keyhole.
What is this, Nancy Drew? Can I look around for a key?
Make an investigation check. If only you knew where a key was. You're Chad out there yelling, "I've got the key!"
20.
20. You don't find a key in this room.
Dang it. Okay. Well, I'll take the... I think, he probably had that in his pocket. And I'll take the stuff that I found and go back to wherever Hargrave's body was, to Chad, and ask him if he found a key.
Funny you should mention that. I was just hollering about one a few minutes ago. Did you find a place for a key?
I did. Hargrave's room.
Well, let's go check it out. Hilda, you want to come see what this key does?
Yeah, it's like a weird trapdoor in the ceiling.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay.
We all go.
And you all gather back up to the tower. Hilda, anything else with the barrels or anything before you leave that?
No, I'm just gonna leave it for now.
Okay.
I'll just figure out what this mystery
We'll come
door
back.
is.
Okay. You head up the stairs. Chad, you step onto the I guess Jules, you point out the spot in the ceiling, and Chad, you step onto the chair and fit the key into the small, like, concealed keyhole. You turn the key and you hear a click. And all of you need to make a dexterity. I'm just kidding. You push open the
He set a trap for himself.
And a door unfolds above you. You look inside?
No, we just leave it.
Okay, you walk away. The end. As you pull yourself up slightly, it's like a very short space. You kind of gather that the ceiling used to be taller, and there was like a false ceiling that was built here. And you kind of like looking at it now, and I think, Jules, you get this, like, the wood used here is a lot newer than the wood used in the rest of the building. And Chad, you can see up there are 3 small chests that are kind of hidden or secreted away up here. 2 of them are kind of about maybe 2 feet wide, 1 foot, a little like rectangular. One of them, I guess I wouldn't necessarily call it chest. It's like it's made out of iron, and it's about 3 feet long, maybe about 6 inches wide. Looks like it holds something very long and cylindrical.
Anything up there?
Like a carrying case.
Yeah, we've got some chests. I'll see if I can bring them down. Can I move them, or are they bolted to the floor?
No, you can get them. They're like right. It looks like they were just kind of hidden up here, kind of like an attic space by Hargrave. So yeah, you can easily pull them out and hand them down to Jules. You guys pop open the chests.
Yeah.
Unless they're locked.
The chests themselves are not locked. Yeah, the hiding was probably the most. If they want, you gather Hargrave was smart enough to know if somebody went to that extent to get them, they'd be able to unlock the chest at that point. So anyway, you get the chests down, you kick them open, and what you find is lots of copper, silver, gold, and a few platinum.
Wow.
Let's
So
flip the
that's-
coin.
I'll go ahead. You probably don't have time to count them out right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and paste in the chat for you. So when you do have time to count it out, a little over 1,000 copper pieces, about 11,000 silver pieces. That's like the bulk of the hoard. 1,800 gold pieces and 140 platinum.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, someone is doing well for themselves.
So that was in the 2.
Those are in the 2 chests. Yeah, the 2 smaller ones. The third one, as you bring it down, it kind of like there's one thing inside of it, kind of rolling back and forth. You crack it open, and inside is a about 3 foot long handle. Looks like it's made out of some sort of bone, and it has like it on one end, the thicker end, it looks like it is wrapped with some sort with a fine like leather, capped at either end with like silver facets. On the other end, there is an iron piece attached to it that looks like it is fractured, like there was once a blade attached to it. As Chad, you realize what this is. This is the handle of a great axe, but it looks like the blade has been broken off.
Interesting. This used to be a great axe. Very interesting handle.
Why would they keep the handle if it's broken?
Sentimental value. I'm no good with magic. Maybe it tingles. I don't know.
Let me take a look, I guess. I don't have any spells for this. I'm now realizing.
You don't identify.
No, I don't. Dang it. I thought I did.
Well, this is going to be fun.
And get back with Mel whenever she returns from her business.
Yeah,
She will
Mel would know.
help out.
Yeah. Do you want to stick this all in your wagon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to loot or do before you go?
Oh, yeah. Also, I found a bunch of barrels. I don't know what's in them. But they say they're from Roran. So it could be wine or something else.
Do you think they're stolen or?
I mean, there was a guy out front guarding them. So they got to be worth something.
I mean, I imagine pretty much everything here was stolen.
Well, I really meant stolen from someone important. Not that the townspeople aren't important, but...
Yes, but it is a lot of barrels. It might be hard to load all of them onto the cart. I don't remember how big our cart is.
Not that big.
Do they have any carts here? Because we're also going to appropriate their horses.
Yeah, there is one larger cart. It's larger than the one you guys have that the 2 draft horses were near. So you technically do have a second cart you could use now.
We're about to make this little town we accidentally found like the richest town in the country.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd
build
say
a jail.
You're smart enough.
Finally.
Hilda, you're smart enough to know you definitely couldn't get all 16 barrels on there. I mean, they're not like full like wine like casks. They're like kind of like half barrels.
Okay.
But yeah, you couldn't fit all of them on between the 2 carts. You can maybe take about 8 of them.
Should we try to see what's in them? I mean, I
I
hate to
haven't
get
looked yet.
halfway down the road and then explode or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just don't want to open them by myself, just in case.
We'll be there.
Okay.
That's
You guys
what
go down to the barrels. You see what Hilda saw, and the barrels themselves they look older. The wood themselves are kind of darkened in places, and you actually see a couple of spots where there are some like old like barnacles that are like crusted and partially falling off, indicating these were once kept in a place near the ocean.
These are very far from home. And it's gonna open one up.
Okay.
Draw a little dagger and kind of
Yeah,
the top off of
you wedge it a bit, and you're able to take the topper off the barrel, uncask the barrel. As you do, we'll look inside. All you see inside is this like black sand.
Does it, if I like grab some, does it have a smell?
It does. It has a pretty like, I'm trying to think of the right description for it. Yes, it has a very pungent smell. And it's very powdery to your touch, and as you drop it back in, there's some that like sticks to your hand. You kind of have to like, wipe it off on your shirt.
I don't know what it is.
Make an intelligence check for me.
But I might. Let's see. Not with a 2.
What's the total?
Hang on, let me see the total. I'm kind of smart. Just a general intelligence check.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, no idea what this is.
I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's something used for spells or something, or for building.
Well, it's got to be used for something. Don't just keep barrels and barrels of sand around.
No, and you don't have somebody guard it either. I'm very curious.
Well, if you don't know what it is, maybe we shouldn't take it all back to the town just yet.
Maybe one? Mel might know what it is.
Oh yeah, I just don't want to take 8-9 barrels of the stuff and then have it come to life and eat everyone or something.
Yeah, let's take 1 barrel for now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you load 1 barrel in the part, so you can add that. I'm gonna post in the chat the rest of the stuff you took from Hargrave's room.
Oh yeah.
There's a bolt of silk, a small bag of incense, find a rabbit fur, talisman, pewter brooch, feathered gloves, and a pewter choker, none of which appears to be magical. Including the what was I saying? Great axe hilt that you found as well. So you load up the wagon. As you do, Krog kind of has finished a slight like power nap that he was enjoying. Sits up and leaving.
Yes, but we might be back.
I'm just going to assume for the purpose of this that either Matthias or Chad will translate everything that Krog says from
Oh,
Chad.
I forgot about Matthias.
Yeah.
Krog, just so you know, there's some barrels in one of the towers. You should probably leave those alone.
Food?
No, I think they will make you very, very sick. So not food.
All right.
Yes, so... But there are other things to eat, like these... There's more of these hawks you can eat.
Fair enough. He kind of like stands up, goof, looks over back towards the pen that has the cow in it, and you see a smile creep across his face and says, Grog eat well tonight.
You've earned it. But something to keep in mind, in the coming days, some more of the mean men might be back and angry that you kicked them out of their house. Just be ready for that.
Grog killed 100 more, 1,000 more.
Those
Just
are
like
some
last
impressive
time.
numbers.
Yeah, just like last time, only hit
Okay,
the
kill
ones
that
who
guy.
hit back.
Okay.
Krog, how high can you count?
100,006.
That's what I thought. You're doing great.
He smiles, and you can see the bits of like vulture kind of like feathers stuck, or the hawk feathers like stuck between his teeth as he smiles.
Yum.
Right. We'll be back soon.
And he just gives a smile and begins to lumber back towards the pen at the back of the keep. And you just hear from back there just a slightly worried moo.
You might have to give the townspeople some money for the cow.
Yeah, I mean, you deserve an award. You fought really well. You smashed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now that does raise the question of all this money we found in Hargrave's room. How much are we giving to the townsfolk?
Well, we should give them something. I mean, these people have terrorized them for what, months? I'm sure some of this is stolen from them, and
That's true, but we can't give them too much, or it will just flood their local economy with money that they don't need. So
that's true.
I do remember you mentioning something about that in our economics lessons.
As a small business owner, I think I have an idea of what you mean.
Hilda Rand over here.
oh boy.
Well,
I mean, maybe.
I mean, Chad, you found all these weapons and things like that. So we should
Yes.
leave them those at least, and those are worth quite a bit to a small town who has to protect themselves.
Yeah, most of them. I did take a few of the weapons for myself, and you see Chad now has, well, probably the best scimitar out of the bunch and 4 new
Like 5
daggers
more swords.
are like strapped onto him
Could I
somewhere.
snag a crossbow?
Sure, they're just loaded up in the back. Sean, I don't know if there was a number, but how many bolts the
Oh,
band?
Jesus. Lots. How many do you want?
I would like to take 6 more.
6,
Bolts?
sure. Yeah, 6 more bolts. Go for it.
Okay.
Snag 20.
All I want.
You can take 20.
Is it fair to say that we have at least 100 in our stockpile?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna update to that.
How are you gonna carry 100?
In the different quarrels.
Okay.
Just write an 8, turn it sideways. That's how many bolts you got.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alright. So I'll leave them all the weapons. I don't know. What do you all think is fair? I mean, not all of this came from the town, so.
Oh, that is so much money.
And we're about
way
to get
more money than we had before.
we're about to get more once we turn in the
Oh yeah.
medallions at Hargrave,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
which
We're going to be so rich.
We could leave them. I mean, this is a bit selfish, but we could leave them all the small coin. It's a lot for us to carry around. And
Yeah.
it's a decent amount of money for them. All the copper and silver. Keep the rest.
I think that could work.
I think that works for me.
Now the question, do we
I'm sure
take...
Mel would not agree with that, but we'll...
Well, she's not here.
Yes.
We'll give her enough platinum to keep her satisfied.
Now, do I take Hargrave's head? Do we take the body?
I mean, McDwyer said his head, so
Alright, I'll be back. Maybe get the
this is gonna be
the
gross.
good townsfolk started. I'll catch up.
Okay.
Right.
You take the other wagon.
So you hitch up the draft horses to the wagons, and load up with the townspeople, the ones that are like sick enough that they can't walk, and as long as your spoils, and begin to in one barrel of the
Yeah, just one for now.
substance. Okay, and begin to head down the hillside and back to the north.
On the way, I think we're splitting up the money. So we'll take the copper and then half the silver.
Okay. So what's that? 5,500 silver pieces.
Yeah, and the rest.
That's pretty good. Yeah. It's probably more money than any of them make in a lifetime. So, yeah. So 5,500 silver pieces and 1,100 copper pieces in the one, the rest in the other.
If I need to, I will cast an illusion so they don't see this happening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Being
not.
sneaky about it.
Okay, I won't worry about that. You guys, I don't think any of them are really paying attention to any of you too much, and it won't really affect the story whether they see it or not.
Okay.
So they're gonna ride along in their cart, and a lot of them look happy, big smiles on their faces, and kind of singing your praises the whole way back to the north. And finally, after, well, I would say it's getting around evening time. The sun is definitely set, and the cold is taking on, and everybody's kind of shivering and huddled together as you arrive in Glassnock. And as you arrive near the Honeybee Inn, some of the people look a bit out of place and not really sure where to go. Most of them aren't really from Glassnock, these people that were captured, and they sort of filter into the inn, and Iris comes out and is a bit thrown off at first about all of the newcomers that she has, and she says, she comes out to the group of you and says, I wasn't really expecting so many people to be staying here tonight, to be honest. I don't really have enough room for this many.
Well, I'm sure we can figure something out and
all right.
make sure you are paid very well for taking care of these poor people.
All right, I'll do my best. And she's just kind of frazzled and begins to go around and usher people inside into tables and stuff. And she says, I don't suppose that you're leaving tonight. You still want your rooms for the night, I assume?
For the night, at least. We are still waiting on our friend. I don't suppose she came back while we were out.
Mel, yeah, she's inside right now.
Great.
Is she going to be surprised? I think is the best word.
You also hear some heavy footfalls as carrying a torch and coming towards you through the darkness. You see MacDwyer with a concerned look that turns a little less concerned as he sees all of you. He gives a big smile, and his large Goliath frame kind of relaxes a bit. He says, well, I wasn't expecting you to come back with so many people.
They had a lot of prisoners.
Good.
We'll find a place for all of them. I assume the bandits are taken care of.
Incredibly so.
And just gonna fan out the medallions and indicate a bloody sack in the wagon.
Looks over all the medallions and kind of peeks in at the into the sack that the head is in, and goes, I will fuck me running.
I mean, it's not all of the heads. That would have been a lot of heads, but we brought one of them at least.
No, I thank you for not bringing me back all the heads. I was sort of worried that you were going to come back with all of them after the conversation we have. I'm glad to know you did not take me literally. I'll get you settled up and get the payment for you, the bounty on all these. Why don't you rest for the night, and I'll get it to you in the morning. Sound good?
That works. Right. Before you go, we do also have a couple of things that we figure the town could use.
Aye.
I'll hand over whatever, just weapons, just all the weapons that we have left that we're not taking, and the sectioned off money.
Okay.
For the town.
He opens up the crate of the silver and the crate of the copper, or the crate of the silver and the copper in it, and his eyes go wide, and you see a couple of the common folk that have come out of their houses also looking over his shoulder as the torchlight kind of glistens off the coins, and he says, I don't know what to say here. We can't take all of this. This doesn't rightly belong to us.
Well, take what you need. We figure you've all been through a lot, so we'll take the rest.
If anything, you could use it for town funds, making things, improving things in the town. Mm-hmm. Maybe making a jail.
That actually might
over there.
might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. Take what you need, and anything you don't want, we'll send somewhere
We'll
else. Oh, we'll take.
Send someone else right into our pocket.
If you're sure, I'll go through this and decide. Look at our ledgers, and I thank you for everything. I'll have your gold to you tomorrow, and I might have something else for you as well.
You've all been through a lot, and you're gonna need a new cow.
Yeah, we couldn't get the cow back, unfortunately. We've got some goats, though.
That's, and he looks over the goats. He says that's more than enough. Thank you. We could buy a whole field of cows for this. Thank all of you. And I think goes one by one, like shakes each one of your hands in thanks. And you see him like very sort of energized and appreciative of this. And he takes the chest and kind of tucks under his arm. And he says, I'll see you first thing in the morning, I promise. And he runs out of town with the gold. Just kidding.
No, he does not. We didn't give him any gold.
Or the silver. No, he heads back to his little shack. You take your crates and head inside, and there you see sitting at a table, probably I assume looking a little bit curious towards the door. You see Mel, and sitting at a table with Luke currently.
Mel! I go give Mel a hug. It's obnoxious.
Almost falls over. Because she's like propped up with like her feet on the table. So like Jules coming over to her, either like picks her up or...
The chair
We
kind of
missed
clatters to the ground as you do this.
I was not even gone that long. But I missed you as well. I see you've been very busy. Oh, the floor. I need it. Welcome back. I hear that you've been quite productive in my absence.
Incredibly.
Yet we took over the whole fort.
Chad made friends with a giant.
So is it our fault now, or...?
Nope, the fort belongs to Krog.
That is true.
But we are like his best friends. So.
What kind of a giant is it?
He is a hill giant.
The big kind?
Not the
Is there
biggest
any other
kind.
Medium large, okay. I'm sorry I missed what sounds like a great adventure.
What did you get up to?
Oh, definitely
I sit
nothing.
down at the table.
Also sits back down, looks at Luke like to gauge if he wants to talk about it or not.
Yeah, I think Luke sits there and actually probably currently is sitting there with a small, like, not too small, pretty fairly sized, like, coin purse in his hand. And he looks over at you and he looks to them and he says, Mel was helping me out with, help me get back on my feet a bit. She's been very helpful. I don't really know exactly how all of it went down, but I'm gonna be leaving soon, and I'm gonna go join the Veil Guard.
That's great.
It's very honorable of you.
Mel like claps him on the shoulder companionably, like, yeah, you are.
Mel helped me sell my family's home, as I didn't really want to go back there. And I'm going to use that money to find a place for myself in Glanbala. And, or no, make sure I've got the right one there.
Yeah, where's it going?
Not Glanbala.
Wielden?
No, Glanbala. That's what I meant. Yeah. I'm headed up north to Glanbala, and I'm gonna find a home there, and I'm gonna join the Veil Guard and give back what you've given to me.
That's wonderful.
Protect people.
All right. Well, be careful on the road.
I will. I was actually talking to McDwyer, and he said he was making his way up there soon. Has to pay the taxes for the town, and where he's gonna accompany me up there. So.
Oh, do you think he's going to have to officially like say that we gave him all that money, or maybe it could be like under the table stuff.
I'll
Well,
probably
it's
keep it
important
under
to
the
pay
table.
taxes
I
on
imagine
all
he's paying us under the table, so. Small towns, local business. Not
At this point,
paperwork.
there's a grinding of wood against wood as another chair pulls itself to the table, and Matthias sits down with the current
Oh!
5 of you and says, "Hi."
Hey,
Uh,
look,
I
Hi,
got a
please
little
come
bit-
sit down at my table.
Mel, Matthias, Mel.
We made
Oh, you
another
know this
friend.
one. Pardon
Yo.
me, my name is Mel.
He was gonna be eaten in the woods by a bunch of wolves, so we picked him up.
And you see a silver-haired young drow sitting at the table with you, and he gives a smile and says, "That's good to meet you. So you're with them. Well, Matthias,
Oh.
nice to meet you." And
Oh,
he-
nice to meet you too. You're also with them. It is so nice to meet you.
He just keeps smiling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I need a drink, please.
We all need drinks.
Iris is behind the counter, and there's like 30 people, or not 30 people, but like 8 or so people that she's trying to get situated around here. All the other, and she says, "Get it yourself."
You know what? I can do that. Can I go help her just for
Yes,
a
you
little
can.
bit? I did
You
own
are-
my own
you
bar
are-
and sling drinks for like 10 years, so
Studied in the art of bartending, so
I'm gonna do that. I'll take over the bar.
you get your party around of drinks, and
Yeah.
also help out Iris and feeding and watering the people in the that are also staying here.
nice. Good to see Jules in her element. I heard that she used to be a bartender, but now we see her actually doing it.
It is nice to see.
Oh, Mel, we got the barrel of thing. I don't know what it is.
A barrel of thing. Okay, I'm coming. Turns around to Matthias. Watch my table while I'm gone. And leaves.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna lead.
Follow up, but just quickly to Matthias. She's a little bit like
She's
that.
nice.
You get used to it.
Oh well, I think she's swell already, so I think we're gonna go along just fine.
Oh, I just love him so much.
Can I roll an insight to see if he's being sarcastic about that?
Ooh.
Check.
12.
Yeah, it seems like he's being genuine.
All right. So as soon as Chad is outside and he's gonna go up to Mel and be like, "You don't have to be so rude to him. I think he's quite taken with you."
I'm not being rude. I don't know what you mean.
Mel, I've known you how long?
You know what? It's fine. It's nice to meet your new friends that you make while I'm gone.
It was, I think, a goddess put him in our way. I'm still not clear what he was
I
talking.
likely story.
I mean, that's what he claims, but he was on a rock and gonna get eaten by wolves if we didn't step in.
And he did
Okay.
some magic
Okay.
later.
Okay.
But we have this fun thing to show you.
I do love things.
Pulls off the top. I don't know what it is. I think it's for magic, maybe.
Flips open fanny pack.
I'm gonna have you. Let's see. What tool sets are you proficient in?
Alchemist tools, poisoner's kit, thieves tools, tinker's tools, herbalism kit, and
Holy
disguise
cow.
kit. I don't think disguise kit counts here.
I'm gonna have you make a check with your. This is gonna be a little weird. You're gonna make a check with your tinker's tools using intelligence.
Okay.
In an attempt to identify. It's more of your proficiency as a tinkerer
Okay.
coming into play here.
Oh, I wanted to roll my real dice. Dang it. That's fine. It's a 24.
Okay, 24. I think you instinctively sort of take a step back away from the barrel.
Opens fanny pack. Oh, nope.
As you realize this is blast powder, black powder, gunpowder, boom powder, whatever you might have learned this from. This is very explosive and usually used in the production of firearms and other explosives.
And how big is this barrel?
It's like a cask. So like 2 feet tall,
Okay.
3 feet tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like me sized.
Yeah, it's about the same size as Hilda.
Can I see that lid, please?
Here to go.
Thank you. Puts it back on.
Make a dexterity check. I'm just kidding.
So this is
What is
quite
it?
frankly, of the powders, it is my favorite. It is black powder. It is the one. It's the one that with fire or spark, it goes boom. It is the boom powder. So we just have a lot of it here.
Oh,
And
there's actually a lot more.
This was only one of the barrels that we found.
Yeah, there's
She like unconsciously like slides it over to herself, like kind of gently hugs it.
there's like 15 more back there at the fort.
Oh, and she rubs it. Only things I can make with this. I'm so excited. But also,
So-
we need to be very careful with this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should I probably clean it off my shirt? I sort of...
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. I was gonna cast prestidigitation to clean off the stuff that she had rubbed on her shirt, not knowing what it was.
Okay.
Okay, it's kind of like whistles to clean it up. Well, now we know what it is. Great. I'm really glad we did not like light a torch or something around it. That could
Yeah,
have
me
been
too.
bad.
I just sit in this tab. Where are my flames? I don't know. It's been like 3 months. There was a big boom the other day, though. I'm just going to put this over here. And like... Oh, actually, I'm going to use magical tinkering. And on the cask, I'm going to make a permanent message that says, "Do not open. Danger."
Okay. If anyone tries to interact with the barrel, and it'll just say, "Do not open, danger." In their head.
It could also be words. Like I can have it say
okay.
like words on the cask.
Okay, perfect. Like big red lettering, big like skull and crossbones.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
actually, I'm going to add a second effect that if the lid is opened, it will just scream.
Okay.
That's
Good to
pretty
know.
good.
So there was that, which good to know. We might be making a field trip back. There was also this, and brings out the bone handle from the battle axe.
Well, let's
I
go
don't know.
inside though to look at these though. It's freezing out here.
But yes, thought maybe you might be able to get some insight into this. I know it was a great axe at one point, but
Okay.
Yes, it is very heavy.
Rags it.
Very heavy and dense. And as you walk back inside, Matthias still sitting at the table. All your chairs are still there, and there's a couple plates of food as well there. And he waves. He says, "I got food for everyone."
Ah, Matthias, you're so great.
Thank you.
She nods. Sits down in her seat.
Okay. Do you identify the?
I would love to. It will take me 10 minutes.
Okay.
I come back with drinks.
All right. You sit down with drinks, and you guys begin to eat. The next 10 minutes pass, and
It's probably the most annoying thing. Like someone who brings all of their homework to do like while you guys are supposed to be having a social dinner in a restaurant. So like taking up most of the table. Like Mel brings out all of these like tools and stuff to identify.
I'm holding my plate, try to be out of the way. Like,
Yeah, and it's a very like lively atmosphere. Actually, a lot of the townsfolk are beginning to kind of like filter in too to see what the commotion is. A lot of them having like woken up, and there's, I think, this like community atmosphere beginning to take on, like people helping each other, offering like a place to stay if they have an extra bed. Some people bringing food as well to help contribute, knowing that Iris probably doesn't have enough food to feed all these people currently. And somebody sits down in that corner, like an older looking farmer gentleman, and he has a lyre that he begins to pluck at, and a little bit of music kind of fills the tavern as well. And it's a nice atmosphere. As the 10 minutes pass, though, you finish casting the spell, and I think you learn a couple of things. This is or was a magic weapon. The full nature of it you don't understand, and you're gathering that's because it has been separated from a core component of it. The handle itself, this long piece of ivory, is actually dragon bone. And it is inlaid with an inscription that runs along the handle. There's a pretty powerful enchantment attached to this, but again, you can't fully get the enchantment because without connecting it with its other piece, you're unable to determine its nature. However, as you spend this time with it and you gather like the nature of it, I think you learn one other thing, that this item is sentient. And you gather by attuning to it, you might be able to communicate with the item itself.
So she like just slams her hands on the table when she finishes. All right, so this is Dragonbone. It used to be a full axe, but it is separated from that part. I cannot really tell what it is or was supposed to do. The arcane engraving has been interrupted, but the most exciting part is whoever wants to spend some time with this little chunk of metal. It's very heavy. You might start hearing voices, one voice in particular. It's a sentient weapon. It has a personality. So, wants a little metal stick, friend. You can do it.
Is it possible to fix it so it's not always just a stick? But
I'm sure it is possible, but I would need the original part.
Well, I can tell this was a great axe. I feel like I'm one of the few among us who would be able to wield it.
That's all you, Chad.
I really don't want to carry it around, so that sounds great to me.
I guess I
you
will.
really want to have a handle axe thing that talks to you, though?
What's
Why
going
not?
on?
Why would you not want that?
I mean, okay.
But also, if you start doing anything weird or start talking to the air, I'm going to be extremely weirded out, and there will be an intervention.
But how else am I supposed to talk to it if I don't talk to the air?
Just... I sit collected. Touche? Yes.
Oh, one more thing.
Here you go. Scrape.
I have a bunch of stuff in, McDwyer's things after we very ceremoniously sort of chopped off his head. Mel wears a lot of jewelry,
what?
right?
Hargrave.
You killed
Hargrave.
McDwyer?
Not McDwyer. You know what I mean.
Field of guy.
I literally don't.
The bad guy.
Jules has been drinking a lot while
Ugh. No, we've been talking about McDwyer so much the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
Hargrave 6. Mel wears a lot of jewelry, right?
Not a lot,
No?
but she would.
Great. I want to take out the pewter choker that I found.
She does have several pairs. Sorry.
And just say, I saved a bunch of stuff, but Mel, I thought you would like this one.
I do love this one. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Wait, hold on. This was just thrown in with other things, or was it on a stand on a pillow, or?
No, it was just in with a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, I'm just going to put it on then.
I don't think
Make
it's
a
cursed.
Constitution save. I'm just kidding.
And
Oh.
I die.
Anyway, I
It's a
thought
literal
it matched
choker.
your rings very nicely.
It does actually probably. Yes. Thank you very much.
Looks pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
My neck's too big for chokers, so.
Do you want me to make you one? I'm sure I could figure it out if you want one.
I would love that.
I will do it.
She's thick.
Aww.
All right. Chad, are you tuning to the...
I don't know if I'm going to do it while this hubbub is
happening?
going on in the inn, but certainly as we are going down for the evening,
Okay, so...
which before we actually do that, there is one conversation. Well,
yes.
two conversations Chad would like to have. One with Jules while we're all still out here, and then one with Mel when they go back to their room together.
Okay.
No eyebrow waggles. So the one with Jules is, probably as she is back over at the bar at some point, just coming up and to get another round, but also You handled yourself very well against those bandits. I don't know that I've seen people. What's the word that Hilda and Mel use for it? Disassassinate? Disintegrate?
Oh, disintegrate.
Yes.
Yeah, holy fire will do that to the especially bad men.
Hope you never end up disintegrating me. I don't know what it does for the faithless.
I don't think you're faithless, but I think you're alright.
Yes, well. It's as much as it is unfortunate that we ever have to fight, it is very good fighting by your side.
It's nice to know you have my back, Chad.
You had mine, I have yours.
You want another drink?
Of course.
I almost feel at home here. It's been a couple of years and I sort of missed it.
Sounds like you think about going back, but what keeps you?
Oh, I don't know. Excitement. Wanderlust. Money.
Well, you got all three of those today.
Yeah, I'll be sending a lot back to my mum. I'm a little more than just a bartender at home, but
Yeah, you've mentioned it's attached to a monastery or some kind of church building. I don't know which term you use for which one.
a temple's fine. We don't have monks. That's something different entirely. It used to be a temple, and we've added on to it over the years. But yeah, I do sort of own the entire place.
Must be nice.
It is. But I'm here with you, and Mel and Hilda, and that's nice too.
Well, to more adventures, more exploring, and more money.
Especially more money.
Cheers.
Okay. I think as the evening kind of wears on and like more people come in, the music is playing. A large section of the floor is also kind of cleared out from like tables, and some of the townsfolk begin to dance as well. And I think of them, some of them like grab some of you and like try to bring you into the dance too.
Oh, Jules gets in on that.
Yeah. And
Mel
so
resists.
okay, they won't force anybody to, and I think they come over to Mel and they're like, come on, and if you
I think she'll like sort of dance off to the side, like the awkward friend who's just like, I'm here, I'm having so much
Just gonna
fun.
shuffle back and forth.
I support your dancing.
Safe space.
And you guys have fun over there.
At some point, as they're doing one of those dances where it's like everyone's switching partners, Chad is going to swing around and just pull Mel in.
This is gonna have some. I like it.
Oh, and I'll pick up Hilda.
Yay! I'm very small. And I would cast dancing lights, so there's like fun lights
Aww.
dancing around, so it's very fun.
Just swing Hilda around in like swing dance style, but it's very easy because she's very small.
Yep.
all right, like a medieval disco, the lights go circling around the room as you all dance to the music being put on by the elderly farmer in the corner, and drinks are flowing, and you probably tap out the tavern with all of any alcohol reserves that Iris might have had. So I think unless there's anything else anybody's doing during like the revelry of the evening, things begin to calm as the evening pushes on and people begin to grow tired, and that the adrenaline wearing off of the making it home and the excitement and the discovery, and one by one people begin to filter back to their homes. Some sleeping on the tavern floor. They don't have another place to stay. On tables and benches, and you all return to your rooms.
Mel will grab Matthias at some point during the evening when
Yes.
no one else is around and just be like, so what happened to the bandits at the fort?
Music stop. Hold on. Keep going,
I
please.
thought it was for dramatic effect.
It was
You were
not.
there.
Oh, but this does remind me of one other thing. Yeah. So just you Matthias has been dancing and stuff, and is like tired. Like sits down. You come over and sit down next to him, and
So, what happened to the bandits at the fort? I noticed we didn't come back with more prisoners.
No. Well, there were a lot of them. The Krog smashed a lot. The others, I blasted a couple. Jules disintegrated a bunch.
I did not even know she could do that.
Yeah. Chad nearly decapitated a couple of people, I think. He took a lot of hits, but I think he was okay.
And his armor seemed to stand up fine to it. Or...
As far as I could tell, yeah.
Okay, great. Go on, yes.
And then, Hilda cast a pretty nasty spell on one of them. They just like fought each other the entire time on the wall. I was laughing, missed a couple of shots just because I wanted to watch that play out.
That is fantastic.
But yeah, most of them died, unfortunately.
That's very unfortunate. I'm very distressed to hear that. It's not the news I wanted to hear at all.
They didn't really give us much of a choice, though.
No.
One of them, they did let go because wasn't really fighting, and he seemed like he was gonna change his way. He seemed like a nice enough guy, but yeah, so let that one go, and probably go and tell the others not to come back to the fort. But yeah, the others died though.
Okay, great, good talk. Clap him on the shoulder, and
he says, hold on.
Literally was like walking away. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you've been traveling with them for a while then?
Mm-hmm.
I was telling them, and you know, whatever you think about it, I've sort of been drawn to all of you, and I don't really know why. But my lady, my mistress, said to find some people, and so far it seems like y'all are pretty cool, and you're doing some good stuff. And I think that this fate, this destiny that I've been drawn out here for, may be tied with you somehow. And he takes out, he's been flipping over a set of cards in his hand. He says, I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but I read their fortunes before, and I'd be interested in reading yours.
Hold on. He like literally takes a big breath, and there's like this long pause where she's just like looking at him, like looks at the cards, looks at him. Let's get it out. Fine.
He gives a big smile and shuffles the cards. And he begins to talking a bit and says, not a lot of people. I've never really met somebody like that. Well, spoke with my mistress before, and what she tells me and communicates with me is destiny and fate, and like the eventuality of all things. And well, I don't really get a lot of it. I haven't really been doing this for long, but I know that everyone here has a purpose, and everyone here has a destiny that they are walking towards, no matter what. And what I like to do is know and try to read what those destinies are through the gifts that she gives me. And he closes his eyes for a moment and mutters a few words. And as he opens them, you can see his eyes go sort of like a silver sheen. And he spreads the cards in an arc across the table, and his hand goes over them for a moment. And then his I think he blinks and the silver sheen goes away, and he says, pick a card.
Okay.
You draw the card and place it face down in front of you. The other three of you roll all of you roll a D100 for me, and the highest one is going to win.
Okay. There it is. Wait. Which way does that go?
The percentile die is the 10s, and the D10 is the 1.
Yeah.
If that's how you're doing it.
So I got the 0 on the percentile, but a 5 on the 1, so I think that's just 5.
That's just 5, yeah.
Aw.
Crushed it.
I'm pretty sure this is a 91.
Ooh.
It's 91 or 61. I'm like trying to find the 6. Yeah, this is the 91.
I got a 55, so.
55. Okay. So Morgan, I'm going to have you do this for Mel this time, and you're going to same thing we did for the others. You're going to write down the level and the way that you believe that Mel will die.
Oh man. Okay.
And you look over the card, Mel, and it doesn't really, I don't think meaning comes from it for you. It's a lot of kind of just symbolism and like, you know, there's like trees and flowers and skulls and things winding around each other, and it doesn't really like mean anything specifically to you. But you put it back on the table, and Matthias looks over it. And he smiles and he shuffles them back into the pack, and he says, "All right, that's all I wanted to know."
Oh, perfect. So I get nothing out of this. That was really fun for me.
No, but my mistress knows something now, and if
good.
time comes, she might be able to help.
I forgot immediately.
Just
But
swing by
hopefully-
with Hilda on the dance floor. I can do stuff like that too.
I just really hope that this was a good thing that just happened. And it's great to meet you. I'm going to leave now.
He says, "It is, and it's good to meet you too."
Right. And just walks away. Bleh. Sorry, Mel's the worst.
Okay, so now the evening kind of pushes on, and you guys wind down and head to your rooms. Chad, there was one other thing you wanted to do before calling it a night.
Yep. Once he and Mel are in the room, he gets more intense than you have seen Chad be lately, especially since we've been traveling ninjas. Now, Luke mentioned going to Glambala. I assume you didn't go back there?
Oh, I did not go to Glambala. I did not go to Glambala.
I would make sure, because I know you do some foolhardy things, but that would be a bit much even for you.
No. I actually did not know that he was planning on going to Glambala himself, so I have a little bit of regret. No, I just went to where his family homestead was and negotiated in someone other's appearance for its sale and the best benefit to him.
Okay, just... we obviously can't go back to Glambala yet.
Oh, no, now I definitely can't go, because he knows exactly what I look like, and we had some conversations about him joining the guard, but I didn't know he was going back to Glambala to be part of the Veil Guard. So I had some concerns about what he might learn there during his training or stationing, and he knows who I am, and what I look like, and where I've been. So,
well, we'll be long gone from here by the time he's in a position where that should matter.
I certainly hope so. All the tier remembers me favorably, but I'm not one for wishes.
Or good impressions.
I make great first impressions. Matthias and I are like, we're like this. Here's Matthias and here's me. We're like best friends.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not. He read my fortune.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse you.
He did that for all of us.
Was it fun for you?
It was, yeah, it was interesting. I don't really know much about, magic or religion or higher powers, but there was definitely something going on. And it didn't seem hinky.
I found it very discomfiting, personally. I thought it was going to be one of those, oh, you pulled the one that looks like a hamster. That means you're going to get over your clumsiness in the next month. I don't know, something stupid. But then he was just like, oh, that's nice. And then that was all. And I didn't get anything out of it. And I'm very uncomfortable. You guys do think he's a good guy, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, he was certainly very helpful. Doesn't seem like there's much reason to mistrust him. He's just very earnest.
Well, great. I am mollified, I find. Very comforted. I'm not worried at all.
I don't know. Your name is Mel. You're not Molly. Wouldn't you be mellified?
I've been mellified. Oh, Chad. I've missed you guys. I've missed you.
We missed you too. Now let's get some sleep. I imagine we're probably heading out in the morning.
Yes, and we are going to not tell anyone where we're going. Just for precautionary sake.
Do we even know where we're going yet?
I assume we'll make a decision before we start walking.
Yes. Well, get some sleep.
You do the same.
Well, first I gotta make this my friend, I guess. And I'm going to attune to the dragon bone handle.
How do you attune to it? I'm just wondering, like, make it your friend, like, does he just, like, start chatting with it? Does he keep it in his pocket? Does he, like, set it next to him on his pillow?
He doesn't start chatting with it. He starts chatting.
No, I was trying to unmute myself to make that joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think what Chad does for a bit is knowing that it is a weapon, does practice swings with it for a bit, just gets a feel for it.
I was just asking in case he did anything that Mel would consider silly. This is not silly.
I mean, it's
She will not mock.
probably a little bit of talking to it, of just like, hello? Are you in there?
She'll just... It will speak to you.
Okay, so while you're attuning to it, there's one other thing. Jules, you wanted to talk with
I
Hilda.
want to talk to Hilda.
Oh, okay.
We're sharing a room.
We are.
Hilda?
Yes, what's up?
I was wondering if, before we go to sleep and all that, could I ask you something?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Well, I mean, you're sort of very good at speaking, and I always find every time you, like get up and speak to us, like you did that sort of pseudo lecture the other day, and it was very interesting. I'm always very interested to listen to them. I was just curious. Are you religious? You can say no.
Well, not particularly, but that Orisha seems pretty great.
Oh yeah, with the bell and all that.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is sort of a family thing. My family has always sort of believed in Orisha and worshipped her, and I mean, it's said, I don't know if this is true, but that these bells might have once belonged to her or her champion. I don't know. It's all.
No
I
shit.
think it's just a bunch of. I think it's a bunch of hearsay. I've not been able to prove that yet. I think they're just fancy bells that someone tried to make even more fancy. But regardless, I do believe that Arisha and her search for knowledge and truth is very commendable, and I do uphold those values. So, yeah. But I don't necessarily pray to her or nothing like that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's a very personal thing. I appreciate you sharing that with me.
What do you ask?
I just wonder how you feel about divine magic and magic from the gods and all that, because you don't seem sort of very keen on like Matthias' sort of magic, and
Ah,
I
right.
just wondered what you thought. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like proper use of magic and understanding of it is you study it and understand it. And I mean, as I was telling Matthias, that some people find quicker ways without the having to understand it as much and still get the power of being able to use it. I don't think that's very responsible or commendable, but I do think there's something different a little bit about like the magic that you do, because I mean, it's kind of based off belief, which is in itself like a form of knowledge and knowing, right? I mean, believing is sort of, and worshiping and knowing that gods will sort of assist you. That's sort of a form of knowledge. It's kind of a weird gray area now that you think of it, now that you put it there. But I mean, you seem to be using the magic well and for good reason. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think you're doing great. So, and I don't think any less of you because of it, but it wouldn't go wrong if you I don't know, wanted to learn more about the theories of the magic and how it works in very intricate ways of casting and such.
Well, yeah, you're my friend and your opinion matters to me. So if you have something that you could teach me, I'm all ears.
All right, I'll do my best. I feel like whenever I try to teach Chad, it's not really sinking in. So I'm glad at least somebody is listening to me.
Tell me about it.
I hope everything's going okay with that weird stick thing he's gonna be friends with now.
Well, if he's cursed or something tomorrow, he's got you and me.
Right.
Thanks for answering some weird personal questions.
Yeah. Anytime.
Okay. So as this conversation finishes, Chad, after sitting in your room and swinging the stick around for a while, doesn't really do anything. So you kind of sit there and lay down in your bed at the stick just kind of across your chest. You're just sitting there, you're beginning to doze off a bit. And as you're beginning to doze off, you suddenly feel this pulse, like this electricity that runs through your body, and you almost seem to jolt awake in that moment as you feel that connection with the hilt of this weapon, or the handle of this weapon. And it's strange because you don't hear a voice, and there's just silence for a little bit. What you get instead is a flash of light, and an image is beamed into your mind directly. And what you see first, you get a few. You see a forest, and you recognize this forest. It's the one you've just spent the past couple days in. And you see, in another flash, you see ruins, like these ancient buildings, these broken rubble and stone structures interwoven with vines, thick briars growing around them. And then in the third flash, you see a tree, but it's unlike any tree you've ever seen before. The leaves of it grow this crimson red, and it has this silver, very twisted looking trunk, and the bark of it almost seems to sheen in this metallic color. And the oranges and reds of this tree kind of mixed together as it lists slightly in the breeze. And you see embedded into the trunk of this tree is a crystal axe head. It's just buried about 6 inches into the tree's trunk. And you feel this urge, this desire to find it, to seek it out. And then the image is gone, but that desire remains, and it solidifies into, as you sit up in your bed, you feel this like pull. And no matter which way you turn, the pull remains the same. And it's leading south from you. And you realize, maybe not directly, given Chad's nature, you know where this blade, this axe head is. And that's where we're going to take our break. So we're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back here in a couple of minutes. So hang out in the chat, and we will see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us on our break. We'll do some more announcements at the end. So let's just get back into it. I want to pick up right where, right on the dawn of the next day, where you guys have all gotten your long rest. You feel better, spry, like some of you might have leveled up. And what would you guys like to do?
Mel picks up her silver thread from where she cast alarm around her room the night before.
Okay. No alarms went off.
She's not paranoid at all.
Breakfast.
Wakes up and if she wakes up before Chad throws a pillow at him.
To wake him up?
Yeah, Chad probably sleeps in after a day of hard battle.
Throws another pillow at him.
Throws a dagger.
We have so many.
We have so many.
So, any updates? Anything from your new friend?
Oh, yes. We need to go south.
Why?
It feels like there's just a thing that I need to go south.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite an itch, but it's like an itch that I can't scratch unless we go south.
I have the beginnings of concern.
Matthias says, I know that feeling.
Why are you on room? What? As soon as I took alarm down, you were waiting.
He was actually in the room the entire time when you cast the spell.
It's
Sleep under your bed.
Gross.
Oh no!
Right before falling asleep, I got some pictures. It's in the forest. We've been around.
Mm-hmm.
There's ruins, and then there's a big fancy tree with the axe head in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's south of us. So,
were there any sensations to this vision, or any emotion attached?
It was a cool axe, a cool tree, but...
All right. Do we think maybe it is those named ruins in the forest that are famous, whose name I definitely know because it is on maps, therefore I would know it? Sean?
What's the question again?
The name of it? What, the ruins in the forest?
The Faute de Mer.
That one?
Yeah.
Is it possible it is that one?
Oh.
Or the Whispering Ruins.
Are those south of us? I don't see a map. So
They are south of you. Yes.
Perfect.
I mean, probably, but you or Hilda would know more than I would.
My guess is yes, but I'm just letting you know. Gonna be keeping an eye on you, even more than usual.
I mean, it's not talking to me. It showed me those pictures and it's like,
telling
hey,
you what to do.
Go south.
This concerns me.
It's not telling me. I just really feel like we need to go south.
influencing your desires and goals. All right, great. That is.
I haven't tried going north yet. I don't know if it's gonna like do a hey bad and zap me or something.
Well, you're certainly acting like yourself. All right. Well, I want breakfast.
Yes, and over breakfast, sharing this in with the others.
I know that feeling.
looks everyone. Why is he still here? Doesn't say it, but like has that look.
Yeah. Okay, so we got to go south. Is what's the feeling that you have?
No,
Yeah,
we're definitely not going south. Is there anyone else in the inn this morning?
probably still some drunk asleep revelers.
Yeah, and some of the people that you rescued that don't have any other place to go.
That's fine. It is definitely one of our many options. That's definitely the lowest on our list of things we want to do.
Right. Because there are other things that are higher,
Yes.
like
Going any other direction.
okay.
Oh, this is what we talked about last night. Yes, we're not going south.
Oh no.
What's this with your eye?
It's something must be in it.
Okay.
Leans forward into the table. Okay, guys.
I get it. Okay.
Okay, great. All right.
So
Need a
north
drink.
then. We're going north.
8 in the morning. I need a drink.
It is 8 in the morning. At least eat some breakfast.
I think Matthias says, I know I've been just sort of like hanging around with you, and now that we've kind of finished the thing that I was supposed to be here for, I was going to be heading to Quildun for, well, I gotta, I guess, turn in this job because I'm the only one that completed it. But I gotta get back.
You're gonna get paid a lot. You're lucky.
Yeah, I need to go back to Eagle's Perch. I don't know if y'all are heading that way. I mean, I'd be more than happy to stick around. But if you don't want me here, then I understand, and I'll just head my own way, and maybe we'll meet up again there. But I just don't want to invite myself along, since it seems like, you know, there's the 4 of you, and that seems like a really well-rounded group.
You talk quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think it would be so nice for you if you went and got 5 shares of gold when you only did 1/5 of the work.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I could wait for you there, and then you guys could have your share of the payment too, if you want to meet.
Wow.
I'm just being antagonizing.
Or we could just stick together.
That's
Or
right.
that.
You're all being very weird this morning.
I just don't want to
Like, I'm
invite.
not
Did
always-
I miss something?
Yeah.
Would there be to miss?
I don't feel like I'm any different than usual.
Why don't you just stay with us?
Yes, we'd love to have you.
I mean, I'd be happy to keep traveling with you guys. I've been having a lot of fun, and you all have run away from things a lot less and left me alone a lot less than the other people I've traveled with. So that'd be great. I just didn't want to impose.
Oh, it's no imposition at all. We'd be so happy to travel with you.
We would.
Yeah.
We like you very much.
So much.
Yeah, and we don't have anywhere specific we're going. We're just sort of traveling around picking up jobs. So, I mean, now we kind of maybe have an idea of where to go. Chad.
Yep,
But-
north.
Well, Chad needs to go somewhere. You need to go somewhere. That's 2 somewheres to go. So we've got plenty
Perfect.
The
to do.
opposite direction, but
Sean, would you switch to the other map so I can see it, please?
I'll go and switch.
Well, we've got
this is going to get really confusing. Mel is just going to be adamant that anybody listening in will be unsure where they're going.
Got
we've
it.
got at least 2 somewheres to go and something valuable at both. So
Okay, Foth do marry. Okay, and we'll do. Okay. Well, which one do we do first?
well, Mel doesn't seem to want to talk about it until we leave. So
Right.
Yes, let's
You know,
go.
we'll just go where the wind takes us.
Yeah.
Like that.
First, we have to see McDwyer. He's got.
Yeah, he's got more money for us.
Ooh, money.
Because he's got 2 sets of bounties for us.
All
I've
right.
not forgotten he was holding the first one for us till we came back with the second.
Man, we are now rolling in the dough.
Occasionally I can be responsible.
I usually count on you to do that. So,
I know. Alright, everyone bundle up, scarves on.
All right, you all bundle up and leave the fort. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong notes. Looking at the leave the inn, the Honeybee Inn. Saying goodbye to Iris. Are you turning your room keys and leaving officially
Yes.
at this point? Okay.
Well, no, I keep my room key as a souvenir, but...
Okay.
I'm kidding.
You leave the inn. You head over to McDwyer's and you rap on the door. There's some shuffling around inside, and the door opens. And McDwyer's is currently kind of halfway between getting his armor put on, his veil forge or veil. Jeez, my words.
That's
veil
far
guard.
away.
That is very far away. His veil guard armor. And you see at the table that there's the chest, and it looks like he's been counting out the silver pieces in neat little piles and stuff. And there's a lot of papers and stuff there that he's currently keeping track of, a ledger of them on. And he says, good morning, all of you. Come in. And you all come in out of the cold. It's a tight fit with all of you in there. But he said he sits at the desk on the other side and motions for you to sit where you can. He says, I've been looking over all this. Again, it's very, very generous of you to offer all this coin for us. Well, I can do this in return if you're offering to pay an equal part. I've been given I've got the bounty for you for the work that you've completed, and he slides 2 locked chests across the table to you, and a key along with them. He says, this just arrived from Glanbala just yesterday, so I told him that we had some people that were going to be doing some work here and might complete it, and I was anticipating you might be able to get this done, and of course you did. So like I said last night, fuck me. I didn't think that you'd be able to pull it off, just a couple of you. But here you go. I've got the horse for the completed work for taking on the Umber Hawkers. I said 10 gold per head. You'll find that all here. I counted 21 of the medallions. So there's 210 gold here for you. And then slides the other one, says, on this one, for taking out Hargrave, he had a fairly sizable bounty on himself, 500 gold. So I don't envy you traveling around with this amount of coin, but it seems like you can take care of yourselves. So you can unlock the chests and take the gold out, and it's yours. You can also keep the key and lock the chests and keep it for your own purposes, security. He says, I know it also talked about something else that might be able to help you with. I can give you some special dispensation, write you a letter of recommendation if you'd like. I don't know where you're planning on going, if you're heading up north or south or where you hang your hat at, but I can write a recommendation to the Veilguard captain there and to the council lord. Maybe get you some favor in the city. I wrote up exactly what happened, and to the best of my account, everything you helped with, all the good things you've done around here. Went ahead and signed it. You can read it over and see exactly what I wrote up. I might not be the most eloquent, but you'll find that I think I covered everything. I just need to know who to address it to, and I'll seal it, and you can take it with you wherever you be on your way.
Well, I think at some point we are making our way to Quildun. So maybe it could go there.
Of course, of course. I can write it to Lord Alabaster, and you can take it there. And when, like I said, if you need anything, I'm sure the Veil Guard and the law there will be willing to help, given the good thing you've done here.
Right, that would be good.
That's most generous.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, of course. And he slides it back across the table. You can read over it. It just goes through an account of you arriving in the town and helping out with the troll and dealing with the bandits. And like I said, it's very simple, very to the point. But
it's not super eloquent.
Yeah, it just dictates and kind of bullet
it's
points
true.
everything you've done. Yeah, and then there's the last part that says kind of is a little more, I guess, objective or subjective, where he writes about the good people you seem to be, the good things you've done, and how he would is proud to have met all of you. He seems very like it put a lot of effort into that part there. And he signs it, and you see he fills it into addressing it to Lord Dante Alabaster, and he signs the paper and rolls it back up, dips the seal, and seals the scroll.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, what was his name?
To Lord Dante Alabaster.
All right, I'm going to take it.
All right. And as you secure all that, he kind of sits back in his chair and he looks over the coin and says, "You've done a lot of good for this town, and last knock is in your den. If you ever find your way come back through, you've got a place here."
I imagine we'll be back.
Good. I'm sure everyone here be glad to hear it. Well, I've got some work I need to do. I guess I'm going to be traveling north a bit with the boy Luke. Says you helped him out, and he's going to, I guess, enlist when he gets up there. So I'm going to take him there myself and introduce him to the right people. You've done right by him. You really have. So keep on it. And maybe I'll see you around, or send a letter from Quildun once you arrive.
All right. Yeah, we do travel a bit, so don't see why we wouldn't see you.
We'll be in touch.
He shakes all of your hands and helps you outside with the chests, and I think you guys probably have your wagon out there, helps you load them into the back of the wagon. Are you guys taking both carts, or are you just consolidating down to one cart now?
Well,
Probably consolidating.
Yeah.
what are we doing about all that gunpowder, guys? Are we gonna leave it there?
Oh no.
I guess we're just...
It's like a lot of barrels.
We should...
How many is a lot?
There's like 15.
16?
We have one, and then
Well, we
there's
can't
15
take-
more of them.
What?
We should, when we leave, we just swing back by the fort and just have Mel, like, lock it up, we're all good. And then we'll
I
come
can
back
do that.
for it as we need it.
I can do that.
Nice. I like it. Okay.
Totally.
Then yeah, we probably just have the one cart then. But did we have a horse before?
There were the 2 draft horses. Are we going to hold on to them?
Because we did not have a horse before. I think
No,
I
you
was
didn't.
just
Nope.
Was it me? I thought I was
Yeah.
pulling the cart at some point.
The one you had before was a hand cart. The other one is a slightly bigger.
Ah, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have me.
But we could also have 2 horses. We should take the horses.
Oh, we could have something else. Chad.
Chad?
The
Chad, your horse.
bag.
Your horse, and you didn't tell us, Chad.
I was going to wait until we were on the edge of town because the townsfolk freaked out last time.
Yeah, they all kind of freaked them out.
Horses.
Oh.
Besides, I
I
don't know if we're
really
gonna
misunderstood the situation.
It's
I can't
fine.
control which ones we get out.
Wait, are we gonna... So you want to take the big cart, then?
Mm.
And...
I think taking the horses is more reliable because we don't know what's gonna come out of that bag.
I mean,
It's
we have to
fine.
be responsible.
What if
for
it's
the
like a bunch
horses.
of rats or something?
That would suck.
Yes, so I think we'll take the draft horses in the big cart. We can leave the small cart.
All right.
Or we can pile the small cart onto the big one.
I
We
think we
don't
need
need
both.
double cards.
You tow
Double
it behind.
carts all the way across the sky.
Double decker carts. Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's take the
Okay.
big cart. the
I'm
horses.
assuming we discussed this before going in.
Sure.
We're like not.
Now we're standing in the town square going, Chad, do you have horses?
Yeah. Okay, so you tie both draft horses onto the front of the cart you took from the Umber Hawkers, and which is it's an open cart, kind of like Skyrim style. And you load your stuff into the back of it, with the 2 draft horses. All right, and you just leave the hand cart.
Yep. And in the handcart, we leave the 23 scimitars, 39 daggers, and 5 light crossbows.
Yes.
I think you see
Protect yourselves.
you see one of like a little like 8-year-old kid come running past and like takes one of the crossbows and he begins like waving it around, goes to he's like, pew, I got you. And like the mom runs up and it's like, it's not loaded. The mom runs up and unless you guys left the crossbows loaded in the back of the car.
No.
Dude, who leaves a crossbow loaded, please?
Not me. Unloaded.
And then a
We
mother
got there. A crossbow.
his mother comes up and like swats his hand and takes it from him and says, now where'd you get that? And it, like ushers him away and throws it in the back of the car. It kind of glowers at all of you a bit for leaving all the weapons out. But
In our defense, I said we left them with McDwyer.
yeah, no, it's outside, and McDwyer comes out and he begins to account
So
for
that's
those
his
and bring
fault.
them back inside. Yeah.
It's not him.
So you pass by. You pass by on your wagon, on your cart, and you head back past the Honeybee Inn. Are you guys heading north and then like circling around, or like how deep is this charade gonna go?
Well, we're gonna go to the fort first.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm the one
forward.
driving, though, right?
Sure.
Isn't that me?
I can't drive.
Well, I'm certainly not doing it.
I have vehicles.
Yeah,
so-
back to
Yeah,
the
no.
fort first, and
It's
then
you.
All right,
So-
We'll drive back to the fort and then head south.
Okay. As you head past the Honeybee Inn, Iris is on the porch, kind of sweeping off the front. She waves as you leave, and
Oh, I say wait, and I hop off, and I want to talk to her real quick.
okay.
Mel
She
panics and tries to stop the horses.
Well, no, I'll stop them first, please. I'm a
Oh, okay,
savage.
okay.
puts the parking brake on. You,
I am proficient in land vehicles.
Iris just kind of look down for a second, thinking you're passing by, and then you stop. And as you run up, she puts the broom to the side. She says, "Is there anything wrong?"
No, I just wanted to let you know, I have a gift.
All right.
Not with me, but coming to you. So keep an eye out, I guess, for a delivery.
What's that? Can you please just tell me what it's going to be? I've had a lot of surprises over the last week, and I really just don't want any more.
All right, I own a brewery and a tavern, a while away. But I'm gonna have my mother send you some things
Oh,
that might help out. So just as a
That's-
gift from me to you.
that's lovely. You've done so much for me. You really don't have to.
I know, but I want to.
I think she gives you a big hug, and she says, "Y'all might be the simultaneous worst and best thing that's ever come through this place. So thank you for everything you've done."
That's the nicest thing anyone has said to me in a while. So
And I mean the best part. I've gotten a little bit frazzled with everything going on, and the company and having the people here is really great. Cleaning up last night was a bit of a chore, but it was good all the same. But thank you, and thank you for the help. And if you ever come through, you got free rooms here as long as you need them.
we'll be back.
She as you walk back to the cart, she waves again to all of you and gets back to her sweeping, and the cart clatters on down the road towards the timber.
As we go, I'm gonna send a sending spell because I have those to my mom.
Mum.
To mum at the rusty cog. But if it takes a couple, but I just essentially want to like send a nice shipment of our famous ale to Iris and maybe start a nice business relationship with her.
Okay. You send the message, and she gets. There's a brief moment of silence, then you get the reply. It says, "All right, I got that sent out to you right away.
Thanks, Mom.
Glad you're doing all right."
Yeah, you too. I miss you.
I assume she doesn't get that last part unless you're going to use another 3rd level spell slot.
No, I just think it. But
Okay.
she knows. We're very close. She knows.
Okay. You reach the southern edge of town. Do you want to go? Are you drawing from your bag of misfit toys?
You know,
Sorry, the northern edge of town.
Okay, so you're heading north, and then you're going south.
Oh, we're
because
going
Yeah.
to the. Where is
whichever way we go to the fort.
is
Where is
south.
the
It's
fort?
the same
Oh,
direction
dang
we're
it.
going.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is south of you. The only thing north of you is Clonbala and a couple other small towns.
Okay, well, Mel's just
So
gonna have to
the
deal
elk.
with it because I'm driving. So.
Mel scowls.
So
Which is
Oh
normal.
no, I'm so hurt.
No, no, I'm
Keep
just
driving.
saying. That's what, for the audience to picture what she's doing in the cart. She's scowling. No different from normal.
so
What'd you roll, Alex?
as we are getting out of town, first comes out a giant rat, then a direwolf, and then a giant elk. We still have the elk.
Gina!
We are unstoppable.
All right. Well, the elk's reign continues as you head out of town. Okay, so you're heading to the fort. Won't take you very long to get there. It's about a half day's travel from, especially when you're on or going by cart. You can go a little bit further faster.
I'm good at driving, so.
Yeah. You reach the branch and head off to the kind of like there's a side road that looks like it was carved through the forest based on the bandit activity coming through here. It's a little bit rougher as you follow that path, but eventually you see the spires in the distance or the walls coming up through the tree line and come to the plateau that the black perch sits on. And as you come kind of riding up, you see a few things have changed since you've been here last in the last day. One is the gates are still open, but there are a few more bodies here than there were before. Also members of the Umber Hawkers. And you see some like fresher bloodshed here. From maybe some of the scouting party that showed back up. And inside the fort, you see kind of to the left as you enter, a space has been cleared out and like a hole has been dug in the ground. And in that hole, there's the remnants of like a burned out campfire with like a spit above it. And on that spit is a half-eaten cow. And there's also a barrel of open gunpowder.
Oh no!
sitting next to it.
Grog, no!
Oh, we told him not to.
Well, Krog's not near there. He's you. I think you maybe put 2 and 2 together, especially Mel and the ladies put it together maybe a little faster than Chad. You see that the cow looks a little more blackened than you would expect it to, and you realize you think Krog was probably seasoning the cow with the black powder as he was cooking it. Still looks like he ate a good portion of it, but you only wonder what that sight must have looked like when he attempted that.
Okay, well, 14 barrels.
The fort or the main building looks like it's had a little bit of a renovation. The doorway has been expanded to be a little bit larger, and Krog has taken advantage of the lofty interior with the second floor having been destroyed and is currently kind of sleeping inside the building, and as you come up with the horses, kind of rouses and sits up inside his little, what looks like a tent to him, as a full like 2-story keep to you, and he comes lumbering out. Doom, doom, doom. Hello.
Oh, thank Gethys, he's alive.
I see you had some company and you tried some of that powder out.
He looks over to the powder, or to the cow and to the bodies. He says, "More bad men show. Krog deal with them." Kind of like pats his muscles when he does that. He says, "Sparky powder, very tasty. Put on cow, sizzle long time."
I bet it was very great.
He says, "Krog season all food with Sparky powder now."
And it didn't hurt.
No, tingled.
Right. Too big, so big and indestructible. It's amazing.
Well,
He smiles and he says, "Come back so soon."
well, we were coming to make sure nothing bad happened with the powder, but it seems like you've got a handle on it. So we may want to take one more for ourselves so that we can season our food with it. But seems like the rest will be pretty okay here. Just don't use more than one barrel at a time.
Frowns.
You could eat.
Sorry, what'd you say?
It might get too spicy.
Yeah. I just like to Mel. I'm like, how much do you think he can eat? Probably like a barrel a day, maybe?
Mel is like a very light gray. She's very concerned.
Maybe we should relieve him of a few more than just one barrel.
I was going to say, we are going to let this continue to happen.
No, I don't think we should.
I do not think we should either.
No, I'm gonna have to agree. Krog, Chad wanted to show you something
I did?
out in the woods.
Yes. We came across a game trail on our way here, and it would be, good hunting for you.
So much food.
So much.
I don't know who to make this with. You're giving Chad the.
I mean, I am the one translating it.
Okay, yeah.
It to Chad.
Make
Oh, that's true.
Oh
Make
god,
a
please don't let it be
deception
me.
check. Make a deception check with advantage.
Oh, that's an 8.
Chad.
Why
Better than
couldn't
the
we-
natural 1 it could have been.
Dang it.
Goes.
Legend point?
I don't know if it's worth it for this.
Krog says, "No, Krog got lots of food now." It gestures over to the pile of maybe slightly putrid hawk bodies that are still waiting over, or still like piled up next to the fire pit he has there, and says, "Krog, wait."
That's fair.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go get a barrel for us, and then we'll be on our way out.
Okay, you have one. Rest
Right.
for Krog.
As for Krog.
Okay.
You should really be stored somewhere where they cannot get wet.
mm,
I tell Chad to tell him.
I will relay that information.
he like looks up at the sky and looks over to the tower that's in. It says, "No get wet under tower. Very dry."
But it's damaged.
Mel, he doesn't understand.
Okay. I'm at a loss, personally.
Oh, think we can figure something out. Let's go get
Our one barrel. Here we
Okay.
go.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Are you guys trying to take more than one barrel?
Well, we
Yes,
discussed that on
And
the
I'm
way
gonna
over
cast
to the tower.
Major Image to make it look like we're only taking one.
Okay. How many are you taking?
How many are we taking? How many can fit in a 20 by 20 foot cube?
I mean, all of them, but they won't all be able to fit on your cart. You could maybe take 5 of them on the one cart.
I guess we're taking 5.
Okay.
Okay. You cast the spell. Krog watches from over on the other side of the fort. Just gonna make an assumption that he's not gonna be able to meet your spell DC. And he's not really paying attention too much.
Also, we all know for a fact that Krog cannot really count, so maybe he will just see and think that we only took one.
That's true.
And he looks at all of them.
That is
But let's rearrange some of these barrels so it looks more like full in this room. So
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, whatever the plan is, I'm just moving stuff. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, gonna sort of adjust the barrels, kind of space them out so it doesn't look like there's so many missing. Also, maybe we should like bury some underneath.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you think we can get away with? Krog not realizing.
I mean, probably most of them.
Yes.
I can try. I don't know how much time we have. I have a shovel.
We probably have time. And if Krog comes to look. Okay, wait. This is concentration. Is this one concentration too? It's not. If Krog comes to look, I can distract him.
Right. Well,
I'm gonna sit outside and hang out.
watch my
Okay.
back, I guess. I'm just gonna dig a hole.
Yeah, guess
Hide some
Chad is helping.
Okay.
Nell is standing, just being very distressed.
So what is it that I need to understand? Is you're burying the rest of the?
We're burying a bunch of them. Maybe not all of them, but we're burying some so that we can come back and get them maybe someday, and Krog won't have eaten them.
Is there
Okay.
any sort of storm cellar or trap door anywhere in this fort that we could just like put them down in there instead of digging a hole?
You gather there's a cellar in the main building.
How far away is that from where we are right now?
The tower that you're in, you'd have to go around to the front of the fort. So about maybe 120, 150 feet.
So, Hilda, do you think we can do that? And have you not see us just ferrying a bunch of barrels across this
I
yard?
mean, I can distract him pretty good. I just need to go, just talk with him and have a nice chat, and hopefully he won't notice you guys.
Cool.
Okay.
Because then I can seal them in there.
Okay.
So you're
So I'm concerned that you're relying on me and Chad to sneak a bunch of things across a lawn in broad daylight and...
and right past Krog, who is standing like
Yes.
right at the entrance
So-
of the place.
I'm gonna. Hilda's going to saunter over to Krog and be like, Krog, have I shown you my bells?
Is Chad going to be there translating for you?
I assume Matthias will be.
Oh yeah, Matthias could.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my boy Chad's with me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so Matthias will stay there and translate for you. And Krog says, bells? No.
Well, let me show them to you. And is going to pull out a couple of her bells and start like playing like a song, but then is also secretly casting Enthrall
Enthrall. Okay.
when we click the thing.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was hoping you were
It's such
doing.
a good spell.
We have a distracting string of words. So I'm going to be like talking the whole time, be like, and when you do this note, it sounds like this. And like trying to dumb it down so Krog could maybe understand, but mostly just blabbering to distract him.
Okay, so he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
All right. Wisdom. Come on. Roll twice, maybe a bit slow.
My best. Ring, ring, ring.
Okay. That is a fail with a 6.
Yep.
Okay, so he's kind of focused on you as you're ringing the bells, and he just kind of sits down on the ground, boom, and begins to just watch as you play this beautiful melody with the.
And I definitely place myself so that his back would be to the front door.
Okay.
Sort
And
of in between.
So Chad and Jules, the two of you are carrying the barrels by hand.
Yep.
Mel attempts to help, but she has a strength of 6.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to carry them.
Anything else that can help right now?
I have catapult. I could yeet some barrels if you want.
Wait. Wait. I cast enhance ability on us.
Okay.
I don't know how many people I could do this on. Hold on. Read your spells.
It's not the way I saw this going.
Mel, what are you sneaking with us, or are you doing something else?
I
can only get 2 of us.
if you can't carry a barrel.
Yeah, there's really no reason for me to walk with you except for moral support.
Right, I'm gonna cast enhance ability on me and Chad for cats grace and give us advantage on those good dexterity checks.
Okay.
Which might help, I don't know.
Both of you have heavy armor, though?
Yep. That gives us disadvantage.
Yep.
Yeah. And
But he also has disadvantage noticing you.
on the perception. So you guys will make straight stealth checks, and he will make a perception check with disadvantage.
And this little bell is the highest of them all. It goes very high.
That doesn't look like a good face, Savannah.
It's not great. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah. I got a 12.
I got an 11.
Okay.
So, average?
No averages. So these are going to be the first 2 barrels that you try to sneak past. He rolled a 15 and an 8. So he does not notice you as you come past the first time. Taking 2 of the barrels, placing them in the cellar and coming back. There are 14 barrels in there. You are down to, you put 1 in the cart. So 13 down to 11. Go to make another set of stealth checks.
$14. You're
1.
making a face though. No.
Oh no.
Well, he rolled a 9 and an 8 this time. So this time, Jules, you make it past. Chad, as you are carrying your barrel, you stumble over some of the rocks that are like the rubble that surrounds this building. And as you do, the barrel falls out of your hands and kind of the thump, and you all like freeze for a moment as this happens, waiting to see if the barrel explodes. It doesn't. However, Krog kind of shakes his head for a second and looks back over his shoulder and sees you, Chad, with the barrel, and goes, "Hey,
What?
what are you doing?"
That's our 1 barrel.
Yes, I'm just taking this one and examining it for flaws, making sure it's sturdy.
Make a deception check.
I want it breaking on our journey.
That's quick thinking, my lad.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
13.
Okay, make an insight check.
No.
I need
Oh,
to
no.
retire this D20.
Assuming he doesn't have disadvantage on insight checks.
I don't know. It's just perception.
Okay, that's an 18.
He's like, oh no.
So as he does, he kind of and stands up, doom, doom, looks over towards the cart where there's already now 2 barrels on.
Wait, doesn't the cart have major image on it, or no?
No.
It does.
Oh, it does?
Oh,
Did you
We
put?
did that in addition.
Okay,
Yeah,
one
I
of
made-
those is... Oh, enthrall's not a concentration. Okay.
It's not. That's why I
Oh,
double
that was
checked.
the whole deal.
So what is the cart showing right now, then?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it no barrels? 1 barrel? What's in the cart?
It probably shows one barrel.
Okay. So he looks over to the cart and looks at you. He reaches down for the barrel in your hands, Chad. Do you resist?
Nope, I give it.
Krogs. And he doom heads back and puts it in the tower and back in the tower where it was before. And he sits down in front of the tower and says, Krog spark powder.
Oh no.
You have one. No more.
Yes,
Alright.
well, you can't blame us. It does seem like it was delicious. Really wanted to have some more for our travels. As you know, I'm quite the talented chef, and the wonders I would be able to work with this as a seasoning.
He kind of he leers at you a bit. He says, Krog no like liars.
It's, well, I wasn't lying about being a good chef. Remember how I cooked up some for that bird for you the other day?
Try steal from Krog. Krog no like.
Yes, that was mean of us, and I'm sorry.
Krog want you leave.
We'll go.
Okay, we can leave.
So you get on your
Still
wagon.
biggest.
I think he starts to nod and smile at that, and then he stops himself, remembering what you've done.
Croc
Do-
will remember this.
Do you leave with your single barrel of gunpowder? Okay, you did get 2 down in the cellar without him seeing.
Great. That'll totally save the fort and him when the other 12 explode.
Well, he made his choice.
So you load back up into the fort or to the cart and leave the fort.
And
All
south
right.
we go.
All right. As you leave, Krog kind of watches you and lumbers towards back to his sleeping place, his new bedroom, where he stands there, sort of again scowling in your direction as you leave, saddened and angry.
Aw.
As you leave and Chad, you still feel that pull on your like on your conscience, and you feel this this instinct of where to go. You all follow the road for the better part of the rest of the day, before night begins to fall, leading through the forest. You don't come across another town in the woods, in the timber here. Gather you're probably going to have to sleep here overnight.
I'll try to find us a good spot to camp in. Maybe like
Okay.
a little bit away from the road.
Okay.
And Hilda has the tiny hut, right?
I do, and I still have one more slot, so I can do it as a ritual.
I'll try to find us a secluded spot. for the
All right.
hunting.
So you find a like a little bit of a clearing off to the side of the road, where it looks like maybe somebody had made camp before. As you actually begin to clear away some of the leaves and find a nice spot in the grass and some of like the frost buildup that stays in this kind of shaded area, you do actually find the remnants of a camp that was here before. You can see some wagon tracks and some other kind of there's a slight kind of shallow hole dug in the ground where they might have had a fire before. There is also a pack on the ground, like a leather satchel that you find lying amongst the leaves and the frost. That looks like it was left behind.
I would love to take a look.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a d10?
Why don't I? Just for fun, I guess. 6.
6. Okay. Inside the satchel is a cloak.
Okay.
It's actually very it's pretty heavy as you take it out. It's a very thick material. It has this kind of sheen to it, kind of like water resistant material.
Hey, Mel.
Almost leathery.
Yes.
Oh, come here for a second.
Comes over there for a second.
I found this.
Ooh. It's quite cold. Do you mind if I look at this once the hut is up?
Sure, yeah.
Great. Tucks it under arm, shoves hands in armpits, and waits for it to be warm.
Okay. So you're doing the tiny hut.
Yeah, I'm doing tiny hut. There's a 10-foot radius around and above us. I'm just sort of like walking around and like doing the bells in a certain time. Like an order to, cast this little tiny hut.
Okay. You finish casting the hut. It appears. What color are you going for on this one?
Maybe something that like sort of like a darker green.
Okay.
I don't think the horses can fit in.
No.
Yeah, it's only
No, the
medium sized. Okay.
Horse and the wagons will not be able to fit in. You'll have to leave all your stuff outside, but you can all go in the hut.
Mel immediately goes in the hut and like drops all of her like toolkits and stuff.
Yeah.
And then starts setting up to do ritual identify.
Okay. You identify the cloak. It is magical. It is a cloak of the manta ray. We'll go ahead and add.
Well, first of all, it's called a cloak of the manta ray. It gives you abilities, of which there are more than one, and I will list them in order.
In just a moment.
Number 1. It looks very stylish.
Probably swimming, right? Like, manta ray swim.
Good
so
guess. It does.
Maybe it's that?
That's why I said it was a good guess. Because it does. Number 2 is swimming. You can swim very fast while you have this cloak on. You can also breathe underwater. Yes, that's it. So there are 3. The number of abilities is 3. Number 1 being style.
I'm trying to add it to your guys' inventory, but it's giving me a hard time. Anyway, you get a swim speed of 60 feet, and you can breathe underwater.
Oh.
That could be useful.
And inside of the cloak, there is a tag that has a name written on it.
Oh?
It says Joseph.
It looks like it used to belong to someone named Joseph.
It's probably dead, yeah?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Either that or he had to leave this campsite in a hurry.
Well, his loss is our gain, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine many people just lose items that let you breathe underwater and all that, so... Well,
Maybe got another one.
Well, we are
rest
also
in peace, Joseph. Well, I'll do a ritual for him before we go.
we're
to
very
sleep,
far inland. I don't know where he would be making use of such a cloak here.
Well, I'll do a small prayer and a ritual for him just in case.
That is kind of you.
Thanks, Joseph, wherever you are, you're definitely still alive.
I mean, it's better safe than sorry.
Well, I guess we'll just put it in one of the fanny packs then.
Oh, well, it won't really fit. I mean, it will, but there's quite a bit of coin in there now.
Oh well. Who
Someone
wants
could
to
wear it.
be able to swim, I guess.
I would like to look stylish.
There's
Also, I
different
don't think I
stability.
can swim.
What?
I mean, there's not like bodies of water in where I live.
I don't know. I sort of do the water thing, but if anyone else wants it, I'm not opposed.
If you want it, Hilda, I am more than happy with that.
All right.
All right.
Puts on stylish cloak. Is it actually stylish or is it like awful looking? I don't even know what this item looks like. Does it look like a manta ray? Oh my gosh.
PMG.
Yeah, it's dark, sort of monochromatic.
Oh, nice. That's
Oh
legit.
yeah.
Depends on your definition of style.
Doesn't everything though?
Yeah.
I just had a bookmark fall out from here, and I don't know where it was. I
No.
probably don't need it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you probably don't.
Hey, I'm really glad you didn't roll another 8 though on that one because that would have been another tan bag of tricks.
Oh,
Bad.
disappoint. Well, before we go to sleep, I will go out of the hut and just do, because I do my nightly prayers, but I just do like a little extra prayer, just like of protection for Joseph, to just like make sure that they're okay and that they are just doing their best out there, since they're missing their cloak and all.
All right. So you guys take rest for the evening. Is anyone taking a watch, or are you just all chilling in the hut?
I'll take a watch.
Yeah, I think still taking watches.
Yeah. I'll do the third watch.
Okay. So first is Jules, second is Chad, third is Mel.
Yes.
Sure.
Am I right in that order?
How
Okay.
dark is it?
Yeah, I was like, whenever it's darkest, that's when I'll take the watch.
Whenever it's not darkest.
But you have those cool goggles.
Oh, I do. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay. So no worries.
yeah. If Chad's AC's -1 again, like back to normal,
I mean, if we
Oh,
can
it's like
do
a
that
switching off thing?
tonight-
I can only have 2 at a time, and the fanny packs take 1.
Interesting.
So goggles of night it is. Boop. The goggles
Burgers.
of night are magical.
Okay. So do you do that at the beginning of every day, or you just can switch them out as often as you want?
It is whenever I finish a long rest.
So
I forgot to say I did it this morning, so
Okay.
I was going to ask, but then I got distracted by if we were going south or not.
That's true. You were quite focused.
Sure. Okay. So
Thanks, pal.
you're gonna leave it. So we'll
Goggles.
say that you have the goggles right now. And you let me know when you change them, and we'll be
Yep. Sorry, Chad. Your
Serious.
AC does not have a +1 anymore.
Good thing Krog didn't try to fight us.
Yeah, good thing.
Oh, man.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make perception checks, all of you.
Nobody's
Okay.
just sleeping.
Cool. It's a 2.
Okay.
Out of 10.
12.
Perfect.
I forgot that my perception was 0.
Well,
So,
mine's 5, so...
Oops.
as you wake the following morning, everything seems to be in good order. You begin to pack up your campsite and get the horses ready to depart. But as you begin to leave, there is a figure that walks out in the road and sort of stops your path south. They're wearing a green cloak, rather simple, with like brown accents on it. It's very camouflaged with the trees and the foliage around you. And as they approach your cart, they lower the hood, and you see an elven woman with long gray hair, wearing rather sort of simple leathers. She has a sword on her side, a short sword on her side, and a bow at her back. And she gives a smile, and she says, "Evening, travelers. Or morning, travelers. I forgot what time it was. I'm afraid that the road is blocked heading south. You'll have to turn around and head the other direction."
Oh dear, what happened?
Rather unfortunate accident.
Oh no.
I assume if you're heading through the forest, you must be heading to Quildun. I advise you take the road around the timber.
I think she's telling us the truth.
Does my poll indicate we should keep on this road?
Yes. It's pretty much like right in her path. Go to make an insight check.
Great. I have a +0. If anyone else is feeling mistrustful, great. That's a 7.
9.
20.
20. The other two of you start to get a read. She's giving a very earnest smile. She seems very forthcoming, kind of standing there, hands open. Seems to be very disarming. Jules, behind that very pleasant demeanor, you're getting an air of, well, something's a little off.
You know, I don't think so. I think we're just gonna keep going on, so if you have any problem with that, I'm gonna step off the cart and very imposingly right in front of her, you can take it up with me.
She smiles and she says, I really wouldn't advise it. It'll be much easier for you if you turned around and took the long road. I promise it'll be worth it.
Oh, well, good thing I gave you the choice. So, move or take it up with me.
She, make an intimidation check.
Oh. 17.
Okay, that's very intimidating. I think she takes a step back at that moment, and you see a little bit of sort of uncertainty and fear across her face. And given that, I think she jumps back and she whistles. And as she does, 3 arrows come flying out of the surrounding tree line. And come whistling towards all of you. And that's what we're going to end our session here for tonight.
Yikes!
Yikes!
We're fine.
You might be fine.
It'll
fine.
be good. We got
I'm
this.
a little squishy.
We will see.
I'm a lot of healing.
We'll
We're
pick up.
fine.
We'll pick up with that surprise round next week and see how that goes. Or not next week, 2 weeks from now. And see how that turns out. So thank you, everyone out there. Let's get maybe some happy music. I need to get that. What's the song that we used to have for this?
Oh, what was that song? I don't know the name of it.
Need to
but
find that
I'd
song.
recognize it if I heard it.
Yeah. We'll find it next time so we can continue our tradition. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. We will be back, like I said, 2 weeks from today. We'll have some other streams between now and then. You can come join us. Tomorrow, you can watch your own Encounter Roleplay. Savannah's going to be running her Apocalypse When game, or Powered by the Apocalypse World System. How many times can I say Apocalypse in one sentence? Game
wow, don't steal my joke.
Is there 3 o'clock or
5 o'clock Eastern
5 o'clock.
time on twitch.tv/encounter roleplay, or also here we'll be hosting it. I can promise that tomorrow is going to be weird and silly. And
Yay.
you'll laugh at least once. So
as usual when Savannah runs a game.
yeah, it's going to be weird as hell. So
we have a lot of other shows that'll be going up. Savannah said before, we're getting caught up on the YouTubes, so you keep an eye out.
so many uploads.
Go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GGame Nights. You can get links to all of our stuff on our website, ggk.smvi.co. We will have on Monday our first session of Morgan is going to be running a one-shot for us as part of our Motley Mondays, our D&D 5e rotating DM game. So that'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern time. A lot of familiar faces there. I think Savannah, Alex, and myself will be playing in that one. We will on
Thursday of this week, have another episode of Matropony, where Span and I play video games that we've never played before, at least rarely stream, and try not to ruin our marriage in the process. We will... I can't think of anything else that's happening this week. We will probably have some other video game streams, other things going on throughout the day. Probably some more Nancy Drew at some point, and as well as a whole cavalcade of other random things that'll pop up. But if you would like to stay up to date on everything that we're doing, come to our Discord. It's linked below in the chat, and you can join our server. And talk to us and ask us questions. And if you're a subscriber, you can play in D&D games with us. We have also our Twitter, twitter.com/G-Game Nights, where you keep up to date on everything that's going on there as well. I don't think I have anything else. I think I pretty much pitched everything. So we will see you in 2 weeks for the conclusion of this cliffhanger, the resolution of this cliffhanger. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.